Okay, now we have talked about this before. Legalize marijuana. It'll be on the November ballot in California. Leaders of the NAACP's California chapter spoke out today supporting it, saying prohibition would take too much of a toll on minorities. Talk more about that. The editor of Turner's Two Cents, our buddy, Cameron Turner. Cameron, how are you?
Hey, Fred, I'm doing good,
All right, here's the question. Is the legalization issue really more important for minorities? And if so, what does that say?
Well, I think the issue here that the NAACP is pointing out is the old tragic story of disproportionate arrest, disproportionate prosecution. The Center on Juvenile and Criminal Justice tells us that 62% of the people arrested in California in 2009 for marijuana were people of color, and that some 42% of those were people under 20. So we're talking about teens, Black and Latino. I don't think anybody believes, I certainly don't believe, that 62% of the people in this state who smoke weed are Black and Latino. Marijuana is a pretty democratic and popular drug across demographics. So the NAACP is pointing out this disproportionate application of the law. Now, I have my own personal views about marijuana. I am not a person who's generally in favor of legalization of drugs, but marijuana is not in the same category as meth or heroin or cocaine. It's not even as deadly as alcohol when we look at the drunk driving deaths across the state. And
yeah, but do you not believe, Cameron, in some way, shape, or form, and you know what, we could pull studies on either side of this. All right, let's be fair. I can pull studies from over here saying it leads to nothing else, and I can get somebody over here on this side to say, smoke pot, you're on heroin in 15 minutes. I mean,
that's right. Yeah.
By doing it, it could lead to something else, don't you think?
Well, we know that marijuana is quite often a gateway drug, just as alcohol is. I don't know that it's that way in all cases. I think that kids who are, I say kids because many times this begins with young people. I've got daughters 11 and 13. We have a straight up no drug house. So, I mean, as far as what's going on in my home, no, I don't care what the law says. Ain't nobody smoking weed up in here. But in terms of how the law should be applied, we're looking at a state which, incarcerates a lot of people for possessing an ounce or two of marijuana for personal use. And I just don't feel that this is a law that benefits society. I'm not sure that it stops that segment of our population that gets involved in hard drugs from doing that. And we do have this disproportionate application and arrest and prosecution. And that's what the NAACP is focusing in on. So while I personally may not be, waving the banner for legalization, I understand this argument and I sympathize with it, and I kind of go along with it.
All right. Cameron, as always, well done. A pleasure talking to you. Thanks so much for the insight, and I'll talk to you again very soon.
Appreciate it, Fred. All the best. See you soon.
All right.